Hello everyone, today I will show you how to solve the Megaminx. The reason I have a 3x3 here is because first you should know how to solve the 3x3 using beginner's method. So beginner's method is the one where you first do the white cross and then the white corners, the middle layer, you orient the yellow cross, position the yellow cross, position the yellow corners, and then orient the yellow corners. Now, on the Megaminx, this method is used, and you will be surprised in how. So, first of all, scramble it up and all that good stuff. And now we start with the white star. Instead of a cross, it's called a star because it's a five-sided shape on each face. Now, do this like how you do it on a 3x3 intuitively. Now, see. Now you will have to bring the cross pieces very far in order to do it properly, but it's fine. Just try your best. Okay, so once you finish the white cross, onto the white corners. So just use the case algorithms and bring the corners all the way to their spaces. It'll be a tough journey, but your corner pieces can handle it. Sorry that I'm turning the cube sideways. It's just my instinct. And now for the, well, not exactly middle layer, but right above the white face. So again, you will have to move the edges a little in order to bring them. Just make sure you're not moving anything around here like this, because that will spoil your whites. And you really don't want to spoil them. Just use the algorithms you know to solve the edges until you finished, unlike me. And here's a quick tip. So first figure out what edge piece you're doing, for example, green and red, and then find the green and red edge piece, and then bring it along. Okay, once you have finished the first two layers of the cube, next it's time for the second two layers. Second two layers is where you will make the stars and the corners and the edges above for all of these faces touching white. So first, let's start with yellow, cause why not? So first I make this cross piece, and be sure not to damage any of the whites. And now, I move the corners along, and then another corner. So it's a lot like it's the white layer, but a little different. And now we have to bring in the upper edges. Instead of the middle layer, now the upper edges. Now, I'm gonna time lapse the rest of them except for the last two because the rest of them are very similar to this one. Okay, now the last two the last two sides could be a little tricky because Making them can sometimes damage the other ones, and I have had serious struggles in this, so please follow my advice, because otherwise you will not really like this. So first of all, let's just make the last piece of the purple star by bringing it around. So this, and now we can insert this corner as usual, because in this case it's just an ordinary corner. But then you can also do the edges. However, bringing this corner in, like, how will you do this without damaging these? Now, there's a simple trick that you do. So you put it here, and then you treat it as if you're just trying to solve it over here, because now it's closer to this letter, which means you won't damage as much. Well, you won't damage at all. So just make sure you're using the right pieces. For example, this corner would be blue, purple, and green. So look for that corner. Okay, I found it right here. And then once you find it here, oh, I got the edge in. But sometimes you'll have to turn this face and bring the edge in. Sometimes it'll be over here, so you just bring it out like this. Anyway, now this part's solved, and we have a corner and an edge piece left that we can easily insert in here. And then let's see, next piece. And now we've got one last layer left, the grays. So as for the grays, case one, you have one gray piece oriented. So for that, well, one gray edge oriented. For that, you bring it to your right and use this algorithm. Case number two, you have three solved edges. So for that, just bring one in front of you and one to the right and do this algorithm. And that will lead you to the next case. You have one flipped in front, one up to the right, one up to the left, and these back two in the very left you have up, but in the very right you have flip. So for this, use the same algorithm, and you're done with orienting. Now next is positioning the gray star. So for this step, we will use an algorithm that cycles the three edges that are not in your front and left. So for example, I have this piece here, so I can cycle them around one or two times to bring this orange piece here, and then using this algorithm, now as you can see I've got these two, so I can just cycle these guys around, and I can do it, I'll do it once or twice and it'll be solved. So next step, orient the gray corners. So for this step, find a disoriented corner just like you do in the 3x3, and then use the 3x3 orientation algorithm. Now, final problem to address, the swapped corners. So for this, use this algorithm to bring your first piece out. Now, as you can see, this is gray, pink, and light green. So you have gray, pink, and light green. So use this algorithm to bring it in. Next, we've got this one, and we'll bring it here. Use this algorithm to bring it in. Now, lastly, these ones. And your Megaminx is solved. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good one. Bye.